One more time. Here we go. I'm talking.
That's it. All right, fellas. You guys ready to knock into this thing?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jameson on the Rocks podcast. Today I have with me, let me make sure I got the name right, Social Creatures, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Right.
Is it the Social Creatures or Social Creatures?
Just social creatures.
Love it. Well, nice to meet you, fellas, man. I'm really glad we could slide you in on this. I had no idea this is a last-minute kind of thing, so I didn't get to do all the research on you guys that I would have liked to. But I listened to your record, and I really fucking love it, man. Really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I really was digging like 5 to 6 of the first ones I heard. I was like, let's go. So I'm glad we said y'all in here. You guys are from Brooklyn, New York, right?
That's it.
Cool, man. On tour right now, right?
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. So you guys want to go down the list and like tell me your name and occupation within the band for each member?
Sure. I'm Patrick. I'm the drummer.
Okay.
And I guess also kind of the jester.
Jester. What do you mean by that?
You know, it's
He thinks
He makes us laugh. He does make us laugh.
exactly what you hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Jono. I do vocals and keyboards, synthesizers.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Love the synth work on there. It's very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
I'm Jacob. I play bass.
Okay. Bass
Name's
player.
Dan. Play guitar.
Awesome.
My name's Jan. I do some extra percussion and a bit of backup synth and vocals.
Awesome, man. Cool. How long you guys been playing together?
Oh, it's a mixed bag of answers to that. Yeah.
I've been with Jono for what, 2 years now? 3?
Playing? Oh, longer. Yeah.
3 years.
Three or 4. Yeah.
Jacob's relatively new.
Yeah. Jacob's
Yeah.
brand new,
Yeah.
Just got Jacob.
but it's like a instant good fit.
Yeah. It just felt right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it
How
first
about
slap.
you two guys? When did you guys all come in together?
I've been playing about like a year and a half now, I want to say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume you all just met the Brooklyn area or something, or heard about the band, or give me kind of like the brief origin story.
Craigslist for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Craigslist.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Love
Yeah.
it. That's classic.
I'm originally from Toronto, so I know Yan from Toronto. We went to
Sick, man.
high school together.
Go hockey.
Yeah.
Love hockey, man.
And he's been joining us on this tour as like a touring member, doing like percussion,
Yeah.
keyboards, vocals.
So I noticed in the bio it said 4-member band,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's 5 of you, right?
So we're
I'm the
touring
extra
5
guy.
of us, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, not extra at all. Not extra at all.
He's central.
Oh yeah, we were sounding
Yeah.
so much
Sweet.
better. It's lovely.
Back left central, yeah.
And have you guys been touring a lot, like playing around a lot, or is this you guys' first kind of tour? I don't really know anything about you guys, so just kind of fill me in on the gaps in the past couple of years
Yeah,
of you guys.
yeah. This is our second tour right now.
Okay.
By the end of 23, we're trying to have just been everywhere in the States and Canada.
Yeah.
So
Wow, Canada.
yeah.
Canada, that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
I know that the tour is really well routed. I was impressed, man. Like, you guys are where you at next up? Basement East, Nashville, right?
We go to Louisville,
Yeah.
Kentucky next, and then
And then we do Knoxville, Nashville,
Hell yeah.
Memphis.
Yeah.
And we're hitting Atlanta on the way back.
That's awesome, man. What venue in Atlanta? Smith's Old Bar?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Dude,
Yep.
good spot. You guys playing the Atlanta Room? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Atlanta Room's dope. Had some good shows there, man. Love it. Good for y'all, man. That's awesome to route a whole tour. Do you guys book this yourself kind of thing? Or
Yeah.
what's the motive for wanting to get on the road? Just you guys got the new record or fairly new record? When did the record come out? 22?
August. Yeah.
August? So fairly new record. You just
Yeah.
want to put some miles on it kind of?
Yeah, yeah. We want to get out there, and then everyone was telling us when we were talking, the first record came out on a label now, but when we were talking to labels, that was something we were constantly hearing was like, we need to see more tour history.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair enough, you know.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
And I'm happy we're doing it. It's like-
Really happy.
Everybody having a good time?
Yeah.
I
I
bet
love
you
being
guys
on
are.
the road, so this is just extra fun being on the road, getting to play music too, you know? Like
yeah, we were just saying earlier today. It feels like we're on vacation
Love
with our
it.
friends. We just happen to get to play music at the end of each day. It's
Beautiful,
nice,
bro.
yeah.
Beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. And being from Brooklyn area, I don't really know much about the scene up there, but are you guys able to play a lot in Brooklyn? And kind of, is that why you hadn't toured as much? Because Brooklyn's such a big.
Definitely.
I mean, not even Brooklyn, but New York.
Yeah.
Is such a big. You
Yeah,
can tour
Yeah,
it.
there's so
kind
many
of.
venues.
Yeah. Okay.
So many.
What are some ones you guys have kind of cut your teeth playing?
Rockwood,
Mercury Lounge.
Mercury Lounge.
Ooh, I hear
Yeah.
Mercury Lounge is great.
Mhm.
Is it really cool?
It's good. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good
Sweet.
venue.
Yeah. Most recently, we've played some spots in Brooklyn, elsewhere, the Sultan Room.
Mhm.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
places that were a really. Those rooms were a really good fit.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought, for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you guys kind of fit the vibe up
Yeah.
there. Kind of works for you.
Yeah. Yeah, but we spent a few years playing around New York under a different band name.
Okay.
and we played like every place imaginable. Like,
Yeah,
like Irish pubs where nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yes. Corner in the stage.
Couples from Ohio
Oh, yeah.
sitting there eating,
or like
eating some chili.
we played this place, the
Yeah.
Bitter End, where not only is everybody eating dinner, but they're not facing you.
Ooh,
They're
that's the
facing
worst.
each other.
Oh no, not a menu venue
Yeah.
as they call it. Oh man, well, that's awesome, dude. Okay, so start playing around Brooklyn, kind of get this lineup together, and you guys go in and make the record last. You said August or before August? I
Yeah, we put it
presume.
out in August. We'd finished it maybe half a year before that. Yeah.
Sounds really cohesive, man. I only got to take a quick glance at it today, but like I was like 6 songs in. This was as far as I made it, I think. And I was like, man, these are all like really consistent, like the synth rocky, like kind of maybe programmed drums or drums somewhat programmed on some of them. No?
No.
Oh, they sound good, man. I
Thank
really
you.
like it. Really
Thank you.
fat drum sound going on. Very cool, catchy hooks, man. It was dope. Really cool, man. So tell me about making that.
We worked with a guy, Matt, who
Yeah,
has,
Graph.
he has a couple of studios, maybe just one now, but he has a location in White Plains outside the city, and then he had one,
The Coop.
the Coop.
Coop.
Yeah.
Shout out
That's a
to
cool
Coop.
studio name.
Shout out
Yeah.
Coop.
Yeah.
Is that a guy or is that a studio?
No, the studio. Yeah, the
Yeah.
That's a cool studio name.
But
I like that.
he's also a drummer. So
cool name for
it
a
was-
guy, too.
It was,
He was able to work
especially,
with
it was especially fun for me working with him because he was, just really easy to talk to about drum sounds.
Yeah.
And we also we did over 150 hours of rehearsal before we went in the studio because time is money when you're
Yeah,
in
man.
there.
Yeah.
And then we recorded demos to send to Matt before we went in, so he had
Pre-production
Yeah,
kind
he
of.
had some idea of kind of what we were going for.
Yeah. I mean, saved yourself like $500,000 in the studio.
Yep, that's the goal.
50 hours.
That's the goal.
It's
when
a
you-
small fortune.
Yeah.
When you demo like that, your arrangements are so much better.
Oh yeah, definitely worth the time. I think right. The whole
Yeah.
pre-production should not be
Yeah,
slept upon.
gives
So
you time to really listen to them and think like when we were writing Half the Keys, I remember everyone else in the band was really hype on the song, and for some reason it just wasn't clicking with me. I was like, why do they like this song so
that
much?
was awesome. That was
And
like
then-
the first one.
Then we demoed it, and I listened to it back, and I was like, holy shit, I know why I don't like this song because I'm ruining it. I was trying to do way too much on the drums, and as soon as I realized that and like cut the drums down to a much simpler beat, all of a sudden like the space of the song opened up, and I was
Love
like,
it.
now I see why they like it. Yeah,
Yeah, really enjoy that. That was really
Yeah.
catchy, man. Good work on that one. Love that.
What was the inspiration on the drums there?
I don't know,
Less is
It was
more.
like some Daft Punk something. I
maybe.
forgot. Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
got a Killers vibe on a few of them. You guys like the Killers?
Love
or
that.
not?
We've heard
I
that.
love the Killers.
Yeah.
Love the Killers.
Love to hear
Fucking
that.
awesome, dude. And even some of the like maybe a little weirder, but like the later '80s Queen, like some of the like Cynthia stuff. I was like, yo, this kind of has that kind of
I
melody
love to
going
hear
on.
that.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
fuck with Queen and the Killers, so that's
Yeah.
great, man. I love to see more synth rock bands. That's awesome. Tell me about Blue Lips. I like this one. Is it track 4? Did I write that down right?
Track 2.
Track 2.
Yeah.
Wrote Blue Lips down. Thought this one was catchy too, man.
Yeah.
Any thoughts behind this one? Anybody
That's
remember
that's
this?
definitely like the simplest, catchiest tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very catchy.
We often
Catchy.
open with it because it's
Yeah.
kind of like guaranteed get the energy going.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that. Easy win.
Easy win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's a song that's like so easy to play when you got jitters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
Sure.
is. Gets the jitters out. It's a good first song.
I think that's a good thing to do, man. Maybe not start with the hardest one where you're
Yeah.
like,
I'll say
Right.
like
I've
half
made
the,
that mistake.
I've
Half
made
the
that mistake
Keys
as well.
is a hard song to open with
Which
because
one was it?
Half the Keys because
Half the
it's
Keys.
such a
Okay.
groove that if you're tense when you start playing it, it just
tight.
doesn't feel the same. Yeah.
Interesting. I also
But-
like Fleeting Joy. Fleeting Joy is a cool song.
Oh,
Any
I
thoughts
love
on
that
that
one.
one? Anybody remember writing that? Anything?
yeah.
Just trying to touch on some moments of the record.
That one kind of
Yeah.
took over as the kind of the theme for the whole record.
Really?
Just,
How so?
Just about trying to make the most of the good moments you have
Yeah.
because they can be fleeting. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well put. Well put.
Yeah.
Well, I think we named the tour after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Fleeting Joy
the
too.
Fleeting Joy tour? I didn't
Yeah.
notice that,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
Do you guys have a favorite song each from the record? I would love to hear individually. Or favorite moment from making the record? Anything that you want to say about the record? I'd just love to hear more about it. I was impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a sucker for VHS because
Yeah.
as a drummer, it's in 7/8 and
But it's better live.
it's better live. It's way better live.
It's very fun to play.
yeah,
Yeah.
it rocks more live. But
Love that.
Yeah, it's fun
Anybody
to play
else?
on the drums. Yeah.
I don't think I made it down to that one, unfortunately. Is that like later in the album?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. I was rushed today, man. Next time I got you on, man. Sorry about it.
The song I thought came out the best recording wise was maybe half the keys, but the song that we wrote that I like the most is probably Fleeting Joy. Like, every night that we play that song, I love that song.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for, man. When you still have fun playing, that's kind of a win-win, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I came into the band as like a fan beforehand because another band of mine in Brooklyn had shared a bill with these guys a couple times. So that's how the connection was made. But, I mean, I listen to the record a lot. My favorite kind of bounces around, but right now I've been digging Dirty Dreamin' a lot.
Dirty Dreams.
We haven't busted out.
Oh yeah.
We haven't figured out how to make that sound good live.
That's a back
Yeah, I
pocket song.
haven't gotten to play bass on that one yet.
What's different about it? Is it just like a tempo thing? Or?
I couldn't tell you.
What was
The
the name of that
writing
one again?
process was different.
Dirty Dreaming?
Yeah,
Dream.
the writing process. I actually wrote the piano and like chord progression for that song and the drums, and then brought it to Jono and the rest of the guys, and we kind of like filled it out with the rest of the instrumentation. And then that was the first song that we did start toying with some electronic drums, along with the live drums. So yeah, there was just a different writing process for that one, and a different recording process. I think the vocals for that one, and maybe some of the piano, were recorded in Boston.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Boston.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, we recorded it kind of all over, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like
that
as
sounds-
you went kind of
We were
thing?
recording for a while. It was like 3 little spurts of recording, yeah.
It's impressive because it all sounds super cohesive. You know what I mean? It sounds like you guys did it in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
well, luckily,
together, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
luckily it was all able to be kind of like
Yeah.
mixed and mastered together, and kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, that
some of it
helps.
was kind of reimagined.
Interesting. Do you guys have something that you learned making this record that you'd like to take into the next record? Individually, I'd love to know.
Like, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes for sure.
Number one for me-
What do you mean mistakes?
Number one for me is less is more.
Ooh.
I think we have a tendency, because we love to play, that as we're writing, we're all trying to do something all the time.
Okay.
And I think something we've started, especially me, started to figure out is, sometimes giving a little space is better.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's hard
so-
to do sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
Yeah.
damn, maybe I don't need that third guitar
Yeah.
layer right here. You know?
Exactly.
It's like, it sounds
Exactly.
cool, so it's
Yeah.
tough. But you mean you listen to like Led Zeppelin and shit, it's like, damn, there's only 2 things happening right now, pretty much. You know what I mean? Everything else is just hold it down.
Yep.
So your ear can only like pick up so many things, kind of. I don't know. Good one. You got an answer? Anybody have any other answers? Learned from the record? Mistakes
Learning?
made? Or like what you learned, what you'd like to do in the next one? Aspirations?
Do on the next one, yeah, definitely. I feel like we really got it. We got much better at the arrangements by the end of it, and some of the songs I wish we could have spent a little bit more time on. Some of the ones that we did towards the beginning. Lyrically, okay, so the album is cool because it has this kind of weird dichotomy going on of like the album is like dancey and fun sounding, and then like the lyrics are like depressing as hell. You know what I mean? And just
Yes.
like and like
Love it.
whatever. It was written during like the beginning of COVID. Like
Yeah.
everybody was going through,
I think that makes it cool,
a
man.
nuts time. But like definitely looking forward to writing about kind of more positive things.
I get what you mean. It's 'cause
Yeah.
it's like kind of easy to tap into that sometimes,
Yeah.
the darker stuff,
And
at
there's
least for me.
and there's so many wonderful, beautiful things to write about. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know.
I don't think that's a downside of the album. I think it kind of
Yeah.
makes it cool though, like dancey,
Yeah, but
depressing.
when it's
music,
like-
sick. It's not really depressing either.
Yeah,
You know
but it's
what I
like
mean?
Friday night. Everyone's got a drink in their hand. You're like, what I wanted to be got away from me.
I guess when you're playing it
Okay,
live,
buddy. Like,
That could,
and moving on.
I know what you mean, man.
that could be a product of when we wrote all the songs too, because it was like peak pandemic.
Okay.
And we had nothing to do, so we were just kind of like bored and
Yeah.
depressed, I think. And we rented out a space, and I feel like we just ended up hanging out in this tiny room all day, every day in the basement of
Yeah.
this building with no AC, and just like sweating a summer away, writing these dancey songs, but talking about how bored and depressed we were.
Yeah. There was like no windows.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like
Yeah.
6 feet by 5 feet. Like we painted it blue. Like
We called it the blue butthole.
yeah.
That's what it felt like we were in.
As you did.
Yeah.
It's stank in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that maybe, like, I guess what you're saying about maybe wanting to write more positive stuff in the next album, is that kind of a product of touring? And like you say, like you show up these places and it's like
It's
party
about,
vibe.
It's
and
about
you're
what
like-
you want to share with people, right? Like it's really cool to be vulnerable, and I think people appreciate that when you're vulnerable in front of people, but it's not the only thing I want to be doing.
Interesting.
You know, when
Very cool,
you're just being vulnerable the whole night, it's like, okay, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
You know, maybe you can have something you're sharing with the audience. Maybe you can have something you have in common with the audience. Or
Interesting. Very well put. Do you guys have a favorite song to play live right now individually? Kind of piggybacking off that. Do you have a favorite one?
I'll go first, especially now that we're doing this tour. We haven't been able to play It's Cold Out Here for a while because it requires 2 synth players.
Okay.
And
now we got them?
Now that we got Yan with us, we can bring It's Cold Out Here back. And we've kind of made it a little more dancey live.
Okay.
And so that's been a really fun one for me to bring back lately. You know?
Oh, yeah.
The only time
and the funky guitar.
What were you going to say?
Yeah. The only time I ever heard that song was the recording, so just jumping in with these guys like a few days ago before we started this tour, hearing it being performed live was like a really refreshing way to hear the song, and it was like, it's awesome. I would agree with that as well. Like, that's a fun song to play.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's your favorite song to do live?
I mean, we've been opening with the song Nothing Changes, which is like a newer one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
unreleased?
It just feels good to be starting off, like, this whole experience is new to me personally, so it's fun to be just kicking off a show, and I'm on the tambourine for that song. There's a few different things I get to do instead of just like a steady beat the whole time, so I have a little bit of a good time doing that, and I get to just watch the guys instead of looking down at my synth, so
yeah. Love that.
Yeah, Yan is like playing a piano bass line while shaking a tambo while singing an oud. Like,
Yeah.
It's all simple stuff.
Multitask
Yeah.
guy. Every band needs one, man. That's good.
Swiss Army knife.
Don't let him downplay his contribution.
He's so humble over there. All right, how about you? Got a favorite one to play live?
Yeah, for me, I think VHS really pops off live in a different way than the recording.
It's usually our closer because the arc of the song is just, it's a good one to end on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you could really bring it to life. That one live, yeah.
Cool, man.
I think I might have to go with VHS too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got a few
but
double answers.
I love playing all of the tunes.
I feel like VHS is a musician's song.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you like to play music, you'll probably like VHS because it's
you
just
guys should have a
weird
good
and
crowd
quirky.
tonight. Man.
Yeah.
Where
So
are you guys
we're-
playing again? What was the name of the place? Tonight?
Oh,
World famous, right?
World famous, yeah.
Chicken wings, I hear. You guys get chicken
Really?
Chicken wings, yeah.
really?
It looks like a really
Thanks
cool
for the
spot.
game.
Yeah.
We were going to
Particular-
go eat dinner there before the show, yeah.
Dude, I do these little like tiny mic interviews in the street. People are always like, world famous wings
Yeah.
are crazy good.
Yeah,
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out to the
And
world
it's a good
famous.
spot. Good
Yeah.
spot, yeah.
Well, we just walked up there earlier today, and that whole strip up there looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the feel.
Very much. That's a cool town. Have you guys, anybody ever played here?
No, I've never
first
been
time.
here, yeah.
Love
Yeah,
it,
first
man.
time
It's
here.
great town. And there's plenty of other choices. I don't know how much downtown you guys saw, but like coming from Brooklyn, you leverage yourself with this first gig, you know, be like, hey, we pulled this many people. You guys could move over to Flicker Bar, which is like a really good, like 100 cap. Perfect.
Yeah,
Great
Flicker
out of town
looks
spot.
cool.
Flicker, very cool. I would suggest that for you guys next. And if that goes well, 40 Watt Club's a legendary spot that everybody likes to play. There's a lot of opportunities here if you guys ever get to come back through, man. I
Oh,
thought
we
it
will.
was-
We will.
Yeah,
it's
I already
funny.
want to, man. Yeah.
Right next to World Famous was a cafe called Manhattan Cafe.
I didn't notice that.
We just came from there.
What was it like, kind of like, or tell me a little bit more about like being a Brooklyn band? Is there like a huge scene up there? I mean,
It's-
imagine there's a lot of venues.
Humongous.
Humongous. Like,
Yeah,
how
it's
many
humongous.
bands you thinking? Ballpark number.
The market is oversaturated.
What,
Really oversaturated?
Yeah.
I was, what, thousands have been?
Sure, at least a couple.
Yeah, thousands.
Holy fucking
Yeah.
shit, man! Jeez.
Not
So-
thousands of touring bands,
Yeah.
but
Thousands of
bands,
bands.
playing in New York.
Interesting. So is it kind of hard to like, not pull a crowd, but like kind of build yourself into something bigger there, or no?
Yeah, you'll burn your audience out, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you play
Yeah.
there too frequently.
It felt like for a while, a lot of our shows, the crowd was mostly our friends, and
At the
your-
beginning, yeah.
your friends only want to hear your songs live, so many times.
Yeah.
They can't come see you every week.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's tough at first trying to find that balance of how often to play versus not overplaying, and trying to
Interesting.
find the right venues and the right lineups that there's a cohesive crowd. Like when we first started playing, we would book through these bookers who they would just put a smorgasbord of bands together, and so it'd be us, and then like an Irish jig band, and then like a death metal band. And so like the crowds just would only be for the one band they want to see, and then they'd leave.
Gotcha.
But
because they're not into.
Yeah, that's fair
but
enough.
lately, we've been able to have a more cohesive lineup where our fans might become fans of another band that plays with us, or vice versa. So.
What are some other bands you guys like playing with? I'm just kind of trying to learn more about the scene up there. I know you guys are the first Brooklyn band to be on, by the way. So
Well, we haven't played with them since last year, but I am a big Tipo fan.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
In Berlin.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
great.
This one band that we really like playing with, they've played with us in Brooklyn, but they're not from Brooklyn. Ricky Racky.
Oh yeah, shouts out Ricky Racky.
Richmond.
Yeah, they're from Richmond.
Virginia.
Yeah.
They're really good.
So
really
good.
talented.
Check out, they have a
Yeah.
song Souls. That's just,
Really? I hear there's some great bands in Richmond. Richmond's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting. So you guys ever heard of 87 Nights? They're a New York
don't
City
think
band.
so.
I don't know. Anyways, that was the only band I knew from up there. So when you guys kind of decide to go on tour, pick a few locations, obviously, you guys are pretty much out. Like, you don't go back to New York at all. Like, it's like a straight run, right? 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, we're doing 7 days, 7 cities.
Okay,
basically,
sweet. What kind of makes you want to pick the cities that you guys pick? Was it just like, Athens Music Town, let's go hit that. Nashville's Music Town, let's go hit that. Or is it just touring, like routing? Or?
I feel like we do the routing in a way that makes sense, and then because we wanted to be able to do it in a way like this, where it was like a show every night, you can't necessarily depend on that you're going to get a show in the city you want that night, right? So we would do maybe 2 cities for each night and see which one panned out. Like we did Knoxville and Asheville, and Knoxville panned out.
Yeah.
Or we had Birmingham on the list, but it didn't pan out. And
On
we're
the
doing
same night as
Memphis
Memphis,
instead.
yeah.
Interesting. That's a smart way to do it, man. Good for y'all.
Yeah.
Good for y'all. Do you guys have? I know you said you want to do another tour this year. Any key destinations in mind for that, or is it just like same kind of like build your fan base in these ones you're hitting, or
I mean,
West Coast,
maybe
maybe?
Midwest or West Coast.
West
Yeah.
Coast would be crazy?
Yeah, both,
man.
yeah.
One of those 2 will be
Interesting.
next, probably.
Interesting. Cool, man. And as a band, tell me a little bit more, considering I haven't seen you guys yet, obviously. Tell me a little bit about your live show. What is the energy like? What is the vibe you guys are trying to put across? What's your what's your favorite part about playing live?
what's the vibe like, Dan?
The vibe in Brooklyn, the vibe in the
our
city.
shows.
Just in general.
Our shows.
Oh, the vibe of our shows. I feel like we just like working with other like really talented bands. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know one thing we've been working on is like engaging with the crowd and kind of what's the word?
I'm trying to engage less.
What's that? Theater word? What's that theater word you use?
What's this?
The theater word you use? Crossing or something?
Blocking.
Yeah. Like moving around more. At least not me, but the other guys moving around
What's
more.
a blocking definition? Is that
Like, so if you were putting up a play, the blocking would be who is standing where and which direction are they facing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're trying to work on make sure that's better, or
Well, in theater, it'd be not blocking each other.
Oh,
right? But
gotcha.
in
Get what you mean.
respect to this, it's like just like, giving people something exciting to look at. Like maybe the guitar player they're facing forward, maybe they're facing each other. You go to visit the drummer, or come and give some love to the singer. Like just visually having things being like kind of flowing and changing and not stagnant.
It's interesting, man.
Overall, I think we're just trying to bring the energy.
Yeah.
Bring good energy.
As an outsider, I noticed the energy is like, I would say, explosive right from the beginning. Like with a lot of these songs, like it does sort of fluctuate. It goes up and down, but for the most part, the energy is kept at a pretty high level for the live shows.
That's a good point too. I think, especially when we're writing, we want there to be, variability and levels to the song, so that it's not just one monotonous show. So that like 1 minute you're way up here and the next minute you're down here, and everywhere in between.
But it seems to do a good job at like keeping it
dynamics.
exciting while being high for most of it.
Yeah.
Which is important.
I can appreciate that.
Even when we slow down and play like a slower song or a more like intimate song, we try to keep that energy, balance that dynamic.
Yeah. Or put it like right before the hardest one, or
strategic set list kind of stuff.
And recently, like speaking of like engaging less, like instead of like talking in between every song while these guys are tuning, we've been doing like kind of like synth
like
transition-y.
like interludes.
Yeah.
almost.
And
And
like
like-
makes you seem so professional.
And
too,
kind-
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like lets the room just like breathe for a second,
Mhm.
so that the intro of the next song like hits really hard,
Yeah.
instead of coming after an outro that hit really hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Or
so
like-
we're not rambling. If like
Yeah.
one guy's retuning, we're not
Yeah.
just like
check out the merch booth.
standing there
again, you know?
quietly or
More
saying
time,
random
you know?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that's so key for like building a set. You know what I mean? Like low key stuff like that
Yeah.
that you don't notice that like festival bands are doing, but like the transitions in between songs. Like, damn, they're not talking in between every song. That's smart. You know what I mean?
It feels like
It's very
they
smart of you guys. Good shit.
It just feels like they put a lot of thought into it, which I think the audience appreciates.
Yeah, I think so, man. That's awesome. Do you guys have a favorite part in general, like individually about playing live, or favorite part about playing live in this band?
I don't know. I've been trying to focus on like trying to make eye contact with everybody and trying to like, I don't know, just like be a little more present during it. You know.
But what are
And,
you
like,
usually doing? Like, how are you usually not present? Like thinking about little shit or
staring
like...
at the fretboard and worrying about the next mistake? You know.
Very well put. Very well put. It's easy to do. You know what I mean? So being present's a good answer.
But no, all these, it's just a good energy on stage. Like I can feel that we're all vibing with each other. That's my favorite part of it.
Hell yeah, man. Great answer. Anybody else? Favorite part about playing?
I mean, to go off of that, like, it's really cool to and to also go off what Jono was saying with the blocking thing and the way that we're staged. Sorry to be redundant, but on the stage,
You're good.
it gives us an opportunity to look at each other while we're also facing the audience. So having all those moments where we make eye contact and like have a moment that we get to share, it's like a both a private thing and like a public thing at the same
Crowd
time,
loves
and it's just like
That's a good
it's
point.
pretty
Yeah.
it's really fun.
I love the
think,
little
yeah.
private, like, secret messages we have to each other during the show where, like, I'll drop a stick and pick another one up real quick, and Jono will turn around and be like, nice save. But, yeah. I think the other thing is just, it is for the audience, but it's also just really fun when you're, I think it's easier to write music when you're friends first.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're all kind of on that page.
Yeah.
And so when we're on stage, it's just like doing what you love with your best friends. So we have those moments. And then I like that it feels like we're playing at a level where, we're all sweaty when we're done at the end of the night. And so it feels like we left it all out there.
Hell yeah, man.
And none of us are holding back.
I would agree. I think that's my favorite part about these shows is just like the chemistry, like connecting with y'all. Like you'll hit a fill, like a crazy fill, and I'll have to turn around and be like, "Damn, dude!"
Or like,
Love being surprised by these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because sometimes we do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's not all playing. So like when Dan will maybe switch up his guitar solo, and you're just like, "Whoa, wasn't expecting that. That was awesome."
Dude, it's so well put, man. Shit like that's why you do it, man. You know what I mean? That'll keep you winning no matter what. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where was I going to go with that? Great answer, by the way. Nice. What was I going to ask up that? I was going to ask something in particular. What is your... I guess your favorite part, that kind of answers favorite part about being in the band. What's your favorite part about touring in general, though? Is it just getting to like take the music to the crowds that maybe aren't in Brooklyn? That kind of stuff? Or
I really enjoyed
tickets?
playing with when we were in Charlotte, we were just in and we saw like we were joking around like, oh, all we really saw was the gravel parking lot and the inside of the venue, so it's not much to say about it, but it was still apparent that we were somewhere different because of the bands we were sharing the stage with and the types of music that they were playing and even just the outfits that people wear
A lot more
and
cowboy boots.
like
Really?
than we're used to.
like
some really good rock country though. Some really good country rock. But then the first band was like almost like punk. I'm trying to think who they remind me of. Like,
Well, they were doing a few different things.
Yeah.
That's kind of what was cool.
but it was an interesting lineup that just I felt like like Ian's saying, we still got a taste of Charlotte.
Yeah, hell yeah.
In that small little room.
yeah,
Love it.
so the people for sure, it's nice to meet the local bands or other bands on the road and
Kind of like the network gets a little bigger, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It is just a
Definitely.
little...
Everywhere you go, there's kind of like this slice of life, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
like try to actually like last night we were all talking to people for like hours.
Yeah, I love connecting with the people. I think that's the most fun thing.
And you'll maybe never see them again, or maybe you connect and you stay in touch, but like you bother to like, actually listen to
Connect
somebody
for a second.
and
Yeah.
see them and care.
That's
It's
huge.
like,
That's one of my favorite parts. That's a good answer.
Yeah. And like just getting to know these guys better too, because it's like we're all hustling all the time, you know. So when we're on the road together and like constantly together, you really get to know each other better.
I think you guys in a van. You guys got a van?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man.
I'll say when we did the Northeast, like it's a bit tough right now because we're really hustling, so we're doing a different city every night. But last time we stayed a few nights in Pittsburgh, and so it was nice. Like if we get a moment where we have like a day off and we just get to like just kind of be kids on a field trip almost. It's really fun. Yeah,
that's great, man.
Yeah. Shout out Pittsburgh.
More, you know,
I know.
Out there, you know.
It's hard not to make it feel like work, but
That's
we still find ways to have fun. So
I was like, oh shit, one day we'll be touring in DC. We'll stay for like 5 days. It'll be sick, you know. Now I'm like, all right, we're here for 15 minutes. We saw the venue. Time to have good show. Let's go, you guys. Weird, man. Weird how it works. But I'm glad you guys got to Athens early today, man. Really cool that we could make this work.
We are too.
Appreciate you having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
No problem, man. I really enjoyed it. We actually got a few more minutes. You guys don't have to rush off, do you?
No. We got.
Let me ask you a few more questions if you don't mind. As for influences, is there like maybe a couple bands that you guys look to as a whole for influences for the music you guys put out, or is it pretty wide array? I imagine, right?
I think the cool thing is there's not a band or artist as a whole.
Let's go through and get 2 or 3 from each of you. I'd love to know like where everybody's influences lays. 2 or 3 favorite bands, or even favorite bands right now.
I'll just preface. I'll say we all have like very distinct individual influences or favorites, maybe.
Yeah.
But when you put all those ingredients in a room together, something comes out cool sometimes. Yeah.
Love it. Mm-hmm. So let's go around. Everybody pick a few favorite bands. Holler them at me.
I mean, I'm not really writing songs with these guys right now, but I'll kick it off because I'm a big Neil Young fan.
Yes.
I like the Beatles, any kind of things from the 60s is what I grew up on, or like
songwriters,
blues roots kind of stuff. So
hell yeah, good
that's me. But
great
I'm shaking the tambourine, which isn't really a part of that. But
tambourine is an underrated instrument.
Yeah.
I fucking love a good tambourine.
That's a fact.
When you can zero in on a solid tambourine on a record, you're like, all right, that's money right there. That's money.
I gotta do some research and find some good tambourine artists to
plenty
get off of.
Jan will just go into the woods with a tambourine and disappear for months at a time.
Just gone.
Yeah, that's how they found me, actually. Thank goodness. Yeah.
How about you right here? Favorite bands or favorite at the moment?
Yeah, so like as far as inspiration, I'm constantly like cycling through bands that I've listened to, and I'm going back and I'm thinking this does kind of embody the Social Creatures vibe, or it can anyway. So I recently went back and started listening to The Police again.
I fucking love Police, man. Police are in my top 3. So great answer.
So
I love that. Great band.
That's
great
been a good
drummer,
inspiration as of late.
Yeah. Favorite Police song?
Ooh,
lately?
I mean, sorry.
Lately, favorite, like your lately one. You know what I mean?
Lately, let me think.
You can think. We can move along. We'll come back. You plot on it.
We'll come back.
Go ahead, right here. Favorite bands?
Oh man, the Chili Peppers, dude.
Oh yeah.
Always been a big influence on how I play bass. Probably Wolfpack more recently. If you heard of them?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, those are the 2 main like bass ones that come to mind that I've just been really digging lately.
Yeah.
Also really into Leon, but not as much of a bass influence, but
less bass on
the emotion of it though is important too. I listen to different music for bass than I do to get like a good cry in. So
interesting. Yeah, I get what you mean. Fair
2
enough.
different moods.
Great answer. How about you right here?
For writing on the synthesizer, some like obvious older stuff, Depeche Mode, The Cure.
Oh yeah,
maybe Cocteau Twins, Chameleons. For vocals, maybe for lyric stuff, like comes from like kind of like a Lou Reed, Johnny Cash place, and then melody stuff, maybe Ed Droste, Tom York.
Interesting. Okay, I could see that. I haven't done a Cure deep dive yet. Should I do a Cure deep dive? Pretty solid catalog.
Disintegration.
Okay,
I would check that out.
Write that down.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the hits, but I haven't deep dived. It's been on my to-do list.
John was showing us some Cure stuff in the car. That was another cool thing about being in the car with these guys. You know, hearing the different music and the deep. Because I never did a deep dive in the Cure either. That's what made me think of it. Because I was like, I know a few songs, but you showed me some other stuff. I was like, oh, this is cool. You know?
You know Cocteau Twins?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it. Great tip. Appreciate that. All right, last but not least, or did you go ahead?
Oh no! For
Go ahead,
drums, I grew up on hip hop. I wasn't your traditional drummer who heard Neil Peart or something, but I got into drums because my 6th grade middle school had a football team, and they held a pep rally where the drum line did a cover of "Back That Ass Up" by Juvenile. And
yeah.
I became obsessed with making beats after that, and slowly got into the full kit. So yeah, I've been yelled at in many bands for playing too many hip hop beats in rock bands, but
that's cool.
that definitely shows. You'll see me trying to sneak triplets in at the live shows. And then I would say recently, like Anderson .Paak and Silk Sonic.
Yeah.
I really love that record. God. And the drumming on that. Like I was showing Jacob earlier today in the intro for that album, there's a cool drum part that influenced how I play the bridge of a song we wrote recently. So yeah, and then the last thing I was going to say is one of the other things I love about touring is seeing other drummers play all over, and I will pick up things from other drummers, and I might not remember their name or even the name of the band a year later, but something they did on the drums will stick with me, and I'll eventually incorporate it into a song later.
Yeah, man.
So
they're just like always learning kind of vibe.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
I love
part of
that.
the
I
road,
love
yeah.
just watching other drummers and
Always stealing.
always stealing. Yeah, borrowing. Yeah, I'll
Great
say
answer, man.
being inspired. Yeah.
You got an answer for favorite Police song?
Favorite Police song?
Oh, he thought you'd forget.
Anything off the first album, self-titled, like
Can't go wrong then.
I love "Can't Stand Losing You."
That's a great song.
Yeah,
That's a great song.
it's a great
Fucking
track.
Great song. I like the line about the LP records. I just think that's funny.
Yeah.
My LP records, they all scratch.
Right.
Something like that.
Something like, yeah.
Anyways, all right, great answers, everybody. As a band, though, obviously all different influences here for the most part. When you guys come in to make like a record, is it tough to like kind of get on the same page, or was it like, all right, this is what we do, this is how it's gonna sound?
It is tough.
Is it tough? Because maybe you want to do hip hop beats, and he's want to do police riffs.
I feel like it's cooking. It's like if you put a bunch of weird ingredients together, it's not going to taste good. Yeah. So the hard part is like picking what ingredients that we all bring to the table to put together to make something that's really tasteful.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys did a good job because the record sounds cohesive to me. So great.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to answer that? Tough to get on the same vibe, or it's pretty obvious? Like, here's what
we kind of try to talk about like a vision. Like, I feel like we might pick like a few different styles that we're going to try to hone in on as like, a very high level target. Okay. But then we'll start from the low level pieces and try to work our way to that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's just you 4 or 5, right? You know what I mean? Interesting. Very cool. Do you guys have any aspirations or plans for your next record? Like thoughts on sonically making some changes, or just kind of?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Anything come to mind?
I think we've talked a lot about what worked and what didn't work, what our strengths are, and what we can, hang up. So yeah, we want to lean into the things that we feel that we do well and that we enjoy, and that we can elaborate on in ways we've been wanting to.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Well put. I think that kind of growth is like, growth, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, this is what we do on this record. That's where we were then. Now it's like, let's do this a little differently, very wise of you guys. Dude, you guys are making a lot of great, you guys sound smart, man. I don't know how to put it, but like, a lot of bands in here, they're like, oh, like, we're maybe going to tour, and like, we're maybe going to make our next record different. So you guys sound like you know what you're doing, so good for y'all.
We try to set goals.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Do you guys have like a kind of hope of where you'd like to be in the next year or so? Like, where would you individually, maybe, like, what would you guys be satisfied with in the next year? Like, maybe another record out, maybe a touring all the time,
definitely
maybe
another
full-time
record
gig, or I don't know.
Yeah, another record, having done the States and Canada.
Yeah, we have a goal of like 40 cities over the next 2 years, I think. Something like that. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Yeah, is there like, I assume there's some complications with touring Canada, like getting everything across the border? Is that like an issue?
Well,
passports and stuff, I guess.
You can grease anybody,
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I think the biggest cash on you. The biggest risk is
we'll play him a nice song,
sheets,
What do you mean?
Yeah. No, our criminal records. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Got DUI. You can't go, man. You can't go.
Yeah. Might not let us in.
Is there like any kind of scene up in Canada? Like, surely there's bars and like live music joints, right? Like, I don't know anything about it. Yeah. Yes. Surely there's a few bars up there.
Yeah.
He's picturing just like a wasteland.
Yeah. It's like snowy wasteland where Drake lives.
No, we have,
You got to look
Plenty
out
of
for the
scene.
polar bears.
we have running water. And
Come on, man. Oh, shit. I've just never heard anybody touring up there. That's awesome.
Universal health
They have
care.
like acoustic guitars, and, you know.
Electricity, fires, The Last of Us.
Yes.
I'm enjoying the show. You liking it?
Oh,
Loops.
please.
I never
Fire.
played the game, so I don't know. But
Episode 3?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
with
Nick
Offerman.
Offerman.
Really?
Ooh, it's one of the best episodes in TV I've
He's
seen
like-
in a long time. It's like a
Have you
whole.
seen, have you seen
I don't think so.
episode
Wait,
3?
what episode's the last one? 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely up to 5.
Episode 3 is like a whole movie in a single episode of a series.
Flashback one?
It's like the beginning of Up, the first 15 minutes of
Yep.
Up, just an hour long.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Yes. Yes.
wow.
That's exactly what
Right? It's just heartbreak. It just sets you up.
Which is the best part of Up. Yeah.
Like, man, really attached to these guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
I know.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Let's see. I'm trying to keep moving. I've asked you guys almost all I wanted. Anything you guys wanted to? Well, let me ask you this: what's a question you've always wanted somebody to ask you about the band? Individually, would love to know.
That's a good question.
Pie, what type of pie would we be?
Answer.
That's funny because you were just saying you was worried we were going to get asked that question.
What's the answer?
We didn't know what to expect. It was the first time we'd done this, and we were like, "What if we get there and he asks us if you were a pie, what kind of pie would your band be?"
Raspberry.
Yeah, like
We did debate it, and it took up a good 10 minutes in the car, though.
Yeah. Well, what was the verdict? Now I want to fucking know, man.
Well, I don't know. I think I was. It depends if you have it with a scoop of ice cream or not. You know?
Interesting.
makes a big difference.
It does make a big difference.
Anybody else have a question you've always wanted to been asked about the band? No, it's a weird question, but I like to ask it. I think it's cool.
never really thought
That was a
about
good
it.
answer, by the way.
That's a good question. Solid one.
Yeah, I haven't had any Q&A daydreams.
What's something you've always wanted people to know about the band? Like maybe what's something that gets misinterpreted?
I think, I don't know. I'm just speaking from experience. I think, it's easy to assume when you hear your friends are in a band or, that you kind of expect the worst usually. And then I think I like to hope people are pleasantly surprised when they see us live, especially after hearing the record. We try to be as close to that live as we can with some variability for fun. But, I don't know. I think people often don't think about how much work goes into all this, and how much we rehearse. They see the end product, and it can maybe look. Hopefully, we make it look easy, but it takes a fuck ton of work.
Dude, I think I was pleasantly surprised today because like this show has kind of got to the point where like any band that like makes a song hits me up. You know what I mean? It's like I'm flooded every day.
Yeah.
So like when you guys hit me up, like honestly, like you say, you kind of expect to like not like it, and then I listened, I was like, oh, this is fucking sick. You know what I mean? So I was like, definitely let's slide these guys in here. So I think you guys are making a lot of great moves. Not that I know anything, but you know what I mean? Like I'm
It's
impressed.
just a grind. It's just a grind.
I know a little bit here and there.
Jono should get a lot of credit for it. He basically does everything a manager would do.
Okay,
for
so
the
you wear the
band.
business hat kind of.
Like
For now.
he probably sends thousands of emails just to get the tour together.
Yeah.
So
somebody's got to do it. It's always good to have somebody.
It's just
in the
so
band
much
that does
work.
it.
And it's always, sadly, it is always better when it's one person.
Yeah,
It's like,
usually. It's kinda like
wires get
streamlined.
crossed and
Streamlined, kind of like efficient, like you know what's going on with the band. I bet you know exactly how much money you're making everywhere and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's see. Where would you guys? It seemed like when people ask you what kind of band you are, what do you guys say? What's your genre breakdown?
I said to someone the other day, I said if the Killers and Radiohead had a baby.
Love it.
And then he said Radio Killers, and I was like, dang, maybe that should have been our band name.
So where did the name come from?
Social Creatures?
Yeah.
Tell your story, John.
Yeah, we had been a band called Kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Which is an awful
I
name.
think it's funny though. I like it.
Exactly. Well, we'd been that for a couple of years, and we went through sucking and just being awful and, figuring it out. And then eventually we were actually making good music and starting to put on good shows. And we were like, okay, well, this is kind of a new thing. And we kind of want to like have a clean slate and leave all that music behind and just like kind of start fresh. So we wanted to change the band name and kind of be a new project. And that's what Social Creatures is. Okay. As for the name, we talked about so many names.
Yeah, I think one I threw out was Big Thrill.
Yeah,
but it was too similar to Big Thief, which I'm a huge fan of, and so I didn't want to feel like I was
ripping.
Yeah,
but there were a lot of names. Like the album was pretty well recorded, and we still didn't have a name. We were starting to freak out about that, and was on a 6-hour bike ride with my lady. We were like during COVID, we were just like biking like crazy,
like mountain biking.
Like
just
messenger bikes, but just
around
like
the barrows,
just going, as far as you desire.
Very cool.
We biked like through Brooklyn, Manhattan, New Jersey to upstate New York for like 6 or 7 hours.
Wow!
And like you start like releasing endorphins in your head to get you through this awful physical mess you've created. And I was like feeling like lightheaded and kind of seeing colors, and like it was just like Social Creatures.
Oh man!
And then I started shouting, I was like, Social Creatures, Social Creatures, and like the person I was backing with was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, but we're happy with it, right? Social Creatures.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was kind of just a feeling. Like we were almost doing like just word exercises on like on a race board. Yeah. We were just like throwing words out and seeing what felt like it kind of matched. I don't know, because we had the sounds, and now we just had to pick words that matched.
Yeah. I kind of see it as, I mean, I had nothing to do with the coming up with that, but I interpret it. Just hearing all of us talk about how our experiences are relating to the tour and playing music and playing live and everything, it's like you're bringing something personal out into the light, and I think that's when it matters most, when you start sharing it and you're becoming social with it and with your vulnerability and with all those things. Like that's
exactly
how I was kind of seeing it. And,
it makes me think of like being extroverted.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which cool. I think we are. Relative to bands, I think we're pretty extroverted on tour, and also for some reason this is popping into my head right now that we wrote a lot of the first album under Social Creatures as a name during the pandemic when like you couldn't be social.
Yeah, so it's kind of
and
social distancing.
Yeah, so
it became apparent how necessary.
Maybe there was like a longing there to be social again.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that it's like to be interpreted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like social creatures.
Yeah, we're probably still figuring out for ourselves why we called ourselves that.
It might be best undiscovered. You know what I mean? Best that you don't know. Well, that's awesome, man. Great breakdown there. Thank y'all so much for coming in, man. I think we're gonna wrap this thing up, dude. It's been
Thanks for having
pleasure,
us.
Man.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm really glad we can make this work, man. You guys are a great interview. You guys are ever back in Athens, which I'm sure we can make happen. I think I can get you guys in Flickr or whatever.
I hope so.
I think we'd like to come back.
We would love to.
In any capacity.
I hope so, man.
Check out the city a little more.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's a great fucking music town, man. Great town. So we'll do our best to get you guys back in here next time you come to town. Thanks for texting me and everything. And I want to thank our show sponsor. I meant to do this sooner. Our show sponsor of the night is Clark's Collective. It's actually a pretty good spot to play if you guys come back to town. It's more of a longer set vibe, but they kind of get a rotating college crowd in and out, so it might be a good play for you guys to pick up some fans if you're interested. Cool. Clark's Collective. Shout out Clark's Collective for sponsoring the show. Thank you guys for coming on. Let's give a wave to the camera for the thumbnail, all right? Everybody wave and smile.
Oh, there it is.
Nice. It's kind of hard to fit all 5 of you in here, but most of you should be in there, maybe half. Maybe half.
Here we go.
But yeah, thank y'all for coming in. Subscribe to the show. We got t-shirts. If you guys want them, DM me, all that shit. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe to these guys. Tell them your Instagram channel name and all that stuff.
Social Creatures Band.
Beautiful. It's Spotify, Social Creatures, YouTube, any of that shit. You guys got anything else you want to plug?
All of it, yeah. We're Apple Music.
And what's the album name again?
It's just called Social Creatures.
Social Creatures. Go check out the debut LP. Well, not debut, but
yeah.
It would have been debut? Okay.
Yeah.
W. All right, sweet. All right, fellas. Thank y'all so much for coming on. See ya. Bye.
Come